Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm going to discuss how to cope with lockdown. Thank you. My name is Frank Gerard Weldon and I welcome you to my channel. The year is 2020. We're in the month of August and things are really, really bad. That's a fact. There's no doubt about it. Lockdown is getting to me. It's very, very frustrating. However, I'm not going to go into the science of being able to cope with the current condition. I'm not going to talk about what's happening, strictly speaking, to prevent this video from being taken down from YouTube. But the truth is the truth. We are all worldwide, 99% of the world's population is going through a very rough patch. Something we could never in our lives anticipate. However, the intellectuals and the gurus and the scientists are talking of consciousness and the knowing and the awareness, etc., which I've also spoken of, which I do accept as true, as applicable. One can apply it to your lives. But in this video, I'm going to get to the bottom of it by me. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I do. So this is what I do. When I'm frustrated, then I am frustrated to hell and back. When I overcome something, I feel very good, just like anybody else. But breaking away from the science of really getting down into stillness and meditating, which I'm going to repeat it. It is needful. It is needful for us to become mindless, for lack of a better word. No constructions, no mental constructions in our mind. Over and above the bombardment of the news, and everything is so negative. It's just negative, and you listen, and I draw it into myself. I start getting emotions and feelings within, and then I want to respond. And that's the time when I become acidic within myself. My chemical constructions with my mind is really playing games with me. And eventually I start to believe everything, and then I'm misled. So without being impertinent to anybody, in other words, without being disrespectful, and I'm not going to point finger, I'm taking myself as a normal human being, and what I do is, when I'm lying on my back in bed, I start to delete files, junk files within my mind, which is accumulated throughout the day on my hard drive, my brain, within my brain. And you know, the old terms, I've got an old PC here, and I've got no professional equipment. I'm using they call it a smartphone. Well, it is bloody smart because I don't understand it most of the time. I'm recording from this, and I've got no special lighting effects and things like that. But getting back to the point, I remember when I had my first PC, there was a function that when you press start and you go into your I think you go into computer, and then you got certain functions to defragment the files on your hard drive. And those days I used to love watching this damn machine putting all the files into place and giving me more space and speed on my computer. Can you believe it? That was fun. And that's quite a while back. But I mean, I've been around the block a couple of times, so I know. But yet it's still very daunting for me at times to overcome this new technology. But to delete the junk files. And what is junk files? Well, I've just spoken about junk briefly. I'm not saying we must not be aware of what's going on around us. But currently, let me tell you, I'm living in a townhouse complex with 3 adults in the home and sometimes 4, because my son works very hard in the late hours, and we start tramping on each other's toes. And to crown it all, the hub around everything in this home is my grandchild, and he's 5, he's turning 6 next month. I've written a book about, I'm going to mention it again, about toddlers and tantrums. Truth be told, the title is Tantrums with a Whisper of Wisdom. That's a title, with a whisper. I can only suggest, I'm not saying it works, I'm not saying it's concrete. No, I have failed many a times. Now, I'm sitting with a grandchild in my home who I love dearly. I love all my grandchildren. They all know that. We love each other. But he grew up. He and I grew up. As he grew, I became wiser to the situation. But now, with this that we're in this year 2020, I still find it very challenging. And believe you me, I've said it in so many of my videos. He knows how to pull the plug on me. I'm not young anymore. I'm not old either. But I find it difficult to keep up with him. It's very, very difficult. He's one big ball of energy which is waiting to explode. And 9 out of 10 times, my friends, when that energy is being released and is starting to become physically tired, he's a different child. In saying that, it has eliminated a tantrum, if I caught it in time. But I'm not going to say it out loud. All the things that have gathered within my mind, the frustration, wanting and waiting for people to do things before I can, and they waiting for me because I'm doing this, and everything is limited. We've got to drive around with the bloody mask on like a vagabond, and it's short periods, and it's keeping your distance, and isolation. It's actually bloody frightening thinking about it. Well, actually talking about it, it's horrific. But we can get to the bottom of this. The fact of the matter is, if I know my circumstances, and I'm totally aware of knowing that I as an individual cannot change this world. I cannot find or purchase a big enough cannon to destroy all the terrible things that are taking place in this world. And if I stand behind a pulpit and preach, it will not change the world. I cannot fight anybody physically. And it is not me to harm anybody either, although so much harm and pain is being caused throughout this world, this beautiful world that God has created for us. So I cannot change it. And you know what all the Christians say, and I say it habitually when I meet friends briefly or we message each other. There's nothing I can do about it. All we can do about it is pray. Well, you know, that is true. All we can do about it is to pray. But to live my prayer is another story. I'm a follower, and I highly regard Jordan Peterson when he was asked the question, do you believe in God? Or he discussed that in one of his lectures at the university. And what I really appreciate about his explanation was that if I say I'm a Christian, then I must be in a position to prove it. So hence, hesitation has stepped in by me before I ever answer a question like that. Let's get back to what I do. I accept everything that I have. I do not accept it in a sense of failure. I accept it in a sense of knowing that it exists. Once I become totally aware of the knowing, I will come to the realization that this is how people react. This is how politicians react. This is how toddlers react. This is how rugby players, footballers, cricketers, ice hockey players, it's a reaction, and every reaction is different, especially when it becomes competitive. And you take boxers, for example, and Muhammad Ali, that man had the tenacity, and the same with Mike Tyson, to put the fear into his opponent before they get into the ring. And to a certain degree, that is the type of tenacity I'm talking about when I say, I know about these things, I am aware about these things, but I'm not going to allow them, which I do not want, to overcome me. Simultaneously, I'm not saying surrender, throw your hands up in the air and say, do with me what you want to. No. You know, great guys like Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra, the late Wayne Dyer, Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, I beg your pardon, sorry Greg, Jack Canfield, the list is long, Sadhguru. I think these are great people, intelligent, spiritual people. There's got to be a way, without going to become a monk for 14 years, which I've got nothing against, although I don't think I'll make it. I don't know if I'm going to last 14 years in the first place. But there must be something inborn in us all that can bring us to a stage where we can say, I'm not going to allow that fear to create feelings and emotions within me. I do surrender. I surrender in the sense that it is there, but it is powerless, regardless of what is happening. And believe you me, in South Africa, where I live, beautiful country, crime has reached a point where most people in this country think there is no return. But it's happening all over the place. People are people. Like seeks like. Like attracts like. So if I become aggressive within myself, I attract aggressive beings. If I become peaceful within myself, I attract peaceful beings, peaceful situations, peaceful reactions. So it's coming to terms to deleting junk files, defragmenting my mind, getting it in order, getting it into a state of total awareness. And once I'm in that state of total awareness, of knowing who I am right now, because I don't know who I'm going to be in 2 minutes' time, I think that's a great starting point. It works for me. I become silent, I become peaceful, and everything around me is peace. So, guys, that's what I've got to say about this. Over and above the fact that there's no need for me to go into explaining the circumstances and the conditions that we're living in. We're all living in it. It's to overcome the overpowering, persistent messages thrown at us throughout the day. Always I say, every action has a reaction. So my day is dependent on my reaction. Not disregarding it, not cursing it, not challenging it, but saying it's there. This is how it is right now. But it cannot remain like this forever. I'm not going to allow it to get me down. This is over and above praying or whatever you do. Meditate and things like that. So these are just a few words of comfort, perhaps to you, knowing that there is other people that feel like you. And again I say, this is what I do, and I'm not telling you what to do. And I'm not telling you this is the only way, this is the Alpha, this is the Omega. No. What I'm saying, this is what I do, and I'm coping. So thank you very much for watching this video. And just like all my other videos, I'm asking you very kindly, I'm starting to get the hang of it here and there. You know, hit the like button, subscribe, and whack that bell so that this can be spread throughout the world. Because I'm doing it out of love and peace and from my heart. So thank you all so very much for watching. God bless and bye-bye.